Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to Budget Tools. If you're new here, welcome. And if you've been here for a while, thank you for being here and being part of this journey with me. As we move into 2026, I wanted to take a moment to share my goals for the year. Not just what they are, but how I'm approaching them. This year feels really different for me. I'm no longer setting goals from a place of urgency or survival. I'm building them from a place of intention, steadiness, and grace. For many years, and I know that a lot of you guys can relate to this, I didn't realize how much of my life was living in survival mode. I was constantly bracing, anticipating what might go wrong, managing expectations, and preparing for the next thing to fall apart. But as I've become more intentional about how I live, how I budget, and how I plan, I've noticed something really meaningful. My nervous system has relaxed. I'm no longer waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm no longer carrying that constant feeling that something bad is right around the corner. There's a sense of being settled now, of being prepared, of knowing that I've thought things through and given myself room to breathe. That feeling of not bracing all the time is something I don't take lightly. Preparation has taught me peace. Planning has brought me steadiness. And budgeting for me is no longer about restriction, but it's about safety. My first set of goals for 2026 is financial because financial stability supports everything else. My goal is to become debt free with the exception of my student loans and my car loan. Those will remain at for now, and that is intentional. What you guys may not have known is that I am about six figures into debt. And I say the six figures because, I don't want the channel to be about shock value and what that exact number is. But trust me, it's not a small amount. Um, so that's the reason that this will take place in a very intentional manner. Um, I'm working on being 1 month ahead, which for me is about $5,200. I do live in Southern California, so cost of living is a lot higher than it is in other places. And I want to grow my emergency fund from where it is currently at about $1,280 to about $2,500. These goals aren't about speed, they're about consistency and sustainability. I'm working toward them through weekly planning, cash stuffing when it makes sense, and allowing myself to pivot without quitting. Some weeks will look different than others, and that's okay. Progress doesn't disappear just because the plan shifts. Another important part of my goals this year involves YouTube and content creation. With budget tools, my goal is to continue working towards monetization while maintaining a rhythm that supports my life instead of overwhelming it. I do have a new little Monday morning check in that I will be doing. Hopefully, you guys like it. You should see it Monday, the 5th of January. Um, so, I was just going to say that, the channel itself has definitely stretched me in ways that I didn't expect with, dealing with the technical issues of uploading and, the small little bits of editing and things like that. It's giving me a run for my money. It's definitely pushed me to grow in ways that I didn't expect. Um, but documenting my budgeting journey has shown me what I can accomplish when I take intentional steps, especially when I physically write my goals down and check in with them regularly. And that is the biggest part, writing them down and checking in with them regularly. In the past, I would write goals down, I would start to journal, I would record a vlog, and then never return to it. It was out of sight, out of mind. But budgeting changed that for me. This community, this structure, and this weekly rhythm taught me more power about returning. checking in, adjusting, and continuing when things aren't perfect. And I want to say, I really do want to say how grateful I am for this community. The support, the encouragement, and grace here have made a real difference for me. From those of you that send me or post in the comments that, you're watching me while you're getting ready for work in the morning, you have no idea how that warms my heart. And there are lots of people that have done that. One or two that I can name in particularly is Lena over at O&L here and Budgeting with Elma. Elma does the same. And ladies, I appreciate you so, so much. So because of that growth, one of my goals in 2026 is expanding into another creative space on YouTube. This year, I'm intentionally beginning to post on my other channel, The Courage to Restore. That channel focuses on DIY projects, furniture flips, and the healing journey that happens alongside restoration. Keep in mind, restoration happens in many different ways. It's a slower pace, it's hands on, and it's about bringing things and sometimes ourselves back to life with patience and care. I've planned to start this video for years and years, but failure can stop you before you ever begin. But what this community has shown me is that there is really no failure. There's just pivot. That mindset is something I'm carrying with me into the Courage to Restore series and into 2026. So if you enjoy creativity, restoration, and the quieter side of becoming, I'd love for you to be on the lookout for content later this year. BudgetTooles will always be part of my foundation, and it is not going anywhere. It gives me the stability that I need in my life and the financial structure that I have been craving. And the courage to restore is just the next expression of what this journey has made possible for me. Another major goal for me in 2026 is completing my BCBA fieldwork hours. And for those of you that aren't familiar, that stands for Board Certified Behavior Analyst. I'm approaching this with intention and containment. Completion is the goal, not expansion. I'm focusing on finishing what I start this year without overloading myself or competing with the other areas of my life. My personal goals for 2026 go far beyond budgeting. This year is about grace, not the kind that excuses harm or overextends me, but the kind that allows me to live honestly and intentionally. If you hear the rain in the background, Southern California actually has some rain right now. So I can't control nature. So I was saying that it's about true boundaries for me this year, especially with people and family. It's about recognizing when access to me has been taken for granted and choosing myself without guilt. I'm learning that no is a complete sentence. I don't owe explanations for protecting my peace. I'm intentionally removing myself from chaos and emotional noise, not out of anger, but out of self respect. I'm choosing to live in the present instead of constantly preparing for the next crisis. Grace for me looks like honoring my non negotiables, protecting my energy, refusing to let others write my story, and no longer living in survival mode. This is the foundation I'm building everything else on. These goals aren't about doing more, they're about finally feeling safe enough to live fully. If you're entering this year with a deeper understanding of your boundaries, a desire to step out of survival mode, or the courage to approach your goals with more grace, you're not behind, you're becoming. Thank you for being here, for budging alongside me, for allowing this space to grow with honesty and intention. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.